All right, what's up, Instagram? At Lawyer for Workers. I'm here with at Nori the Nightmare, at Vinu Varghese.
I'm Lauren Noriega. I am a California state and federal criminal defense attorney based here in LA.
Vinu Varghese. I'm here in New York, office on Wall Street, practice federally all over the country.
Really excited to have these two with you because they have been telling me stuff about two cases that I'm really into, and I can't wait for you guys to hear it. Really, really good, interesting information, stuff that you just don't see in the news, but you're going to see it here today. The first case we're going to talk about, everybody on the internet is talking about it, YNW Melly. Now, everybody gives you guys a chance to hear from two really expert criminal attorneys on why he's not necessarily guilty the way the whole internet has proclaimed. The evidence I want to talk about is this geolocator and how the cops think that based on cell phone records, they know exactly where this car traveled, where it stopped, where Melly was. Lauren, you've done a lot of cases like this. Can you tell us, is that geolocator evidence 100% accurate?
Never. It's so unreliable and known to be unreliable because it's not like GPS, which a lot of people don't understand. It's not a pinging tower. Unless it's GPS, which can provide that type of detail, there's no way that you can tell just by cell tower evidence where exactly he was. And even more, like, how are they going to prove that he had his phone?
That's a great point. Next piece of evidence in this case that people are going crazy about. Apparently, the cops in Broward County have used their forensic analysts and concluded that there's no way these shots could have been done by a drive-by because of the way the shots appear entering the car, that it wouldn't have been a moving shooter, it was a stationary shooter. And the other thing the cops are putting a lot of energy into is that when they look at the wound on the victim, the wound is of a certain shape and size that suggests that the shooter was shooting from inside the car. And then they look at the, about three inches away, maybe 3 feet away, and they say this shooter has to be inside the car. Vinu, what can you tell us about these ballistics experts? Are these people sure when they say that the shooter was outside, that the shooter was stationary?
They like to act like they're sure, but one of the things that everybody out there needs to know, 10 years ago, National Academy of Sciences put out a report that basically said all these guys that are experts are not. And since this point, in the last 10 years, you had hair fiber analysis being rejected. So there's a lot by the FBI itself that used it to put people in jail, put them on death row. People were executed based upon this stuff. So when you're talking about moving towers and all this stuff, forget about it. What he's going to need is a lot of money. He's going to need a lot of money to defend themselves, call the right people, but actually just poke holes. They don't even have to say that this is so much junk, but actually just poke holes in all of this. Now, you got to understand one thing. This is Broward County. It's not even Miami. It's not Miami-Dade. It's County North. Now, this is actually a wealthy county. You got Palm Beach there. And because this guy is a rapper and he's got a name, what they're going to do is invest money and bring in people from outside, whether from Miami or in other places. So he's going to have to come up with a lot of money to help defend himself because this is a case that he can beat this case. It's just he's got to have the right money to do it.
So if I'm hearing you right, if I hear the Broward County forensics people telling me that the shooter was definitely inside, the shooter was 3 inches to 3 feet away, what you're telling me is that YNW Melly could find another forensic expert, perhaps one with a better resume, charges more money, and he would say, no, you're dead wrong, and that everything you're saying is bullshit?
Either that or saying you can't prove what you're saying. That's all he's got to say. He doesn't actually have to prove where the gun came in. But if he can get an expert who's got better credentials, then he's going to be able to get these people out of it. A second ago when I said Palm Beach, that's the county, actually one county north of it. Broward, though, is where the Parkland, it is a wealthy place. It's where the Parkland shooter was. And, they're going to invest a lot of money into this case because they want to make sure this guy goes to jail.
Okay. Last piece of evidence in the YNW Melly case that everybody's talking about. Apparently, they found a casing, a bullet casing in the back of the car, inside the footwell, and that casing was in a plastic bag. So this would be a pretty damning piece of evidence if they can tie the casing to the gun. It's how to get in the car. Criminal defense attorneys, what do you think there? What happened?
Well, I mean, we hear about this stuff all the time. Perfect example, Stephen Avery making a murderer, where we hear about you know, legit evidence being planted. And it's almost like, whenever I see pieces of evidence like this, where it's like, wow, real convenient, you always raise an eyebrow to that. So this, you know, it turns up in a plastic bag. How convenient in the car. It's really suspect, in my opinion.
Okay, Dina, what do you think?
I gotta wonder what kind of plastic bag. Are we talking a little shopping bag? Are we talking a Ziploc bag? Was it closed?
Right.
I mean, come on. I mean, like, if this is gonna be used as a casing against him, then it wouldn't be in there unless it accidentally, you're saying it was shot and then it happened to fall into a plastic bag that was on the ground. I'm not sure that's what the state is gonna, you know, ride this with, or I'm not sure the state's gonna ride that, he said. But
I'm glad to hear y'all say, because I thought it was planted, but you know, I'm not a criminal lawyer. I'm a big fan of these rappers, and I thought maybe I was being biased. It's interesting to hear you guys say that. I think, Vinny, you mentioned there seems to be a real intent here where they're trying to get this guy. They like getting rappers, right?
Well, listen, remember what else they got, right? They got the Parkland shooting going on. They got that guy, you know, his name, Nicholas Cruz. I mean, it's not a very pretty thing. So here's a chance to get a guy who is making a name for himself. You know, that Parkland shooting didn't look good for the county with the guy running out, the school officer not even going in and defending himself. So this may be a chance for the county to redeem itself, and they'll open up the purse string, they'll open up the wallet, they'll call in all the people from outside to try to make this work. But I think if he has the right people, you know, this is a case that, I mean, I'm not even sure what that even means. Like a shell casing in a plastic bag. I mean, just doesn't even make sense.
All right, so it sounds like YNW Melly has a lot of arguments to make, but I'm thinking about this. This guy's locked up. He hasn't made a lot of money in his career. He's pretty new. I know you two, you guys, you know, you charge by the hour. Criminal lawyers aren't cheap. Real quick from you, I know it's hard to put a number on it, but just give me a ballpark. What do you think to lodge a successful defense, take this thing all the way to trial, get all the experts, beat the case? How much do you think Melly's going to need in cash?
Well, I don't charge hourly, and most criminal defense attorneys, at least here in LA, just charge a flat rate. So I know for me, something this complex, when there's so many experts involved, you almost have to become an expert as well in order to properly defend it. So that's a lot of hours, it's a lot of time. I would say anywhere from $500,000 to $1 million. I would say $500,000 would be bottom of that would be like, if we're cutting corners, it's $500,000 probably. That's
everything, expert fees and everything included?
It's hard to say, but that would be a guess. Yeah.
Vinu, what do you think?
I would go higher. You're talking a double murder. You know, ultimately, it's Florida. He may face the electric chair. So, you know, I think he's going to need more than that. I mean, I would hope he starts writing something from jail and he makes, you know, he sells it, you know, quick because he's going to need money.
All right, YNW Melly fans, run those Spotify streams up. He's going to need that revenue. All right, next case, moving to number 2. Internet's hottest rapper. I don't know why, because I think he's terrible, but whatever. You guys love him. Let's talk about him. Blueface on the West Coast. Now, you guys are really going to enjoy the take that you're going to get right now on this Instagram TV segment on Blueface, because Lauren Noriega actually, how many cases do you think in Los Angeles County involving that type of gun charge have you done in your law career?
Well, I've been a lawyer for just a little over 2 years. I would say I've probably done 75 gun cases. 75 gun cases. And that's the same type of charge essentially as what Blueface is facing? Yeah, a large majority of those would be felony possession of firearm, which I believe is what he's facing. Okay. Now, my understanding of what happened here is these guys are just hanging out. You know, they're all chilling. There's a big group of people. And what ends up happening is the cops roll up, the group disperses, there's some guns lying around, and they arrest Blueface and another guy, and they say, these are your guns. Blueface's manager, Whack 100, came out, and he was really strong with his not guilty claim. He said, Blueface is not guilty. You could run the fingerprints on these guns. His prints aren't on it. Lauren, what can you tell us about what goes on in that county? What kind of inside information can you give us about these types of cases and how credible they are? Well, I can tell you that there are a couple specific officers in that division that hang around that area, and they always use this tactic of, oh, I'm concerned for your safety, and that's why I'm here. So these particular officers hang around the LA Gun Club and medical marijuana dispensaries where they know that the guards are armed, and they try to catch people up on little technicalities in order to make it seem like they're doing good work probably to get a promotion. Like, oh, you've arrested this many people on, you know, gun charges. You're doing good work. You're out there hitting the pavement. When in all actuality, they're on private property at the gun range, or they're, you know, pulling up on people with no probable cause or reasonable suspicion under the guise of, hey, I'm worried for your safety and that's why I'm here. So I think I know the officers that are involved in this. I think I do. And if it's those officers, there are so many complaints about these officers for this type of behavior, mine being one of them. I've written formal complaints about these officers.
At Blueface Bleedum, at WAC 100, if you need a criminal lawyer, that girl right there sounds like she's the right one for this job. You know, I sent you the Blueface stuff. You took a look at it. What do you think?
I'm more concerned for him and his future, right? So he's starting to rack up the arrests because this isn't his only case. So if he's convicted in this case, he's convicted in his other case, which involves robbery, he's now getting close to Armed Career Criminal Act, which is a federal statute that when you have 3 or more violent felonies on your record, you're going to get an automatic 15 years on top of whatever you're facing. So, you know, they got these guys who are like, you know, I've seen them and you hear these cases of guys who like take a couple pleas. They don't really do jail. They do some city time or no prison, no ups, and we call it upstate prison. I'm not sure what you call that in California, but you know, at the state court level, all of a sudden you start racking up these cases of possession of guns, and all of a sudden, boom, the feds come pick you up one day, and that's a thing that I think, you know, when guys are taking pleas, and a lot of defense lawyers don't understand this because they're not doing the understand the federal world. You got to watch out. If you think your client's a guy that's going to get, you know, arrested again, you need to warn him about the ACCA to make sure that he understands and he starts thinking about his future, that one day he may go away for a really long time, even if he gets good deals on all these small cases.
Wow, good point to know. I hope Blueface's lawyer is as read up on the federal laws as you are, right, Vinu?
Okay, hopefully for him.
All right. Thanks, guys, for joining me. This was awesome.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I enjoyed it.
Well,
all right, so let's try to do this. Maybe, what do you think? We should do this weekly? These guys get arrested kind of twice a day. We might even have to do it more frequently.
Well, we don't want people to get sick of us now.
All right, Instagram TV, I hope y'all enjoyed this, talking about YNW Melly, talking about Blueface. Throw us a like, throw us a comment. Let us know in the comments what issues you guys want to hear us talk about. Let us know what you think we look like. Just talk to us. We love seeing you guys in the comments. Lauren, last words?
No last words. I think one thing important to add about the Blueface thing, though, is like Vino said, it's state prison time. When you have these felon in possession of a firearm, it's mandatory state prison. So it's not an easy thing to defend against.
Vinu, what do you got for us? Closing words.
Just keep, be careful how many notches you got on that board, because eventually it's going to catch up to you.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. Peace.
All right, thanks.
Cool. Good stuff, guys.